So that was beautifully said by that little girl. And I was asking her, like, you have drawn everybody in the picture, but you are the birthday girl, but you were not seen. She said, I was the one who took the photograph of this particular image. See, what a beautiful narration that little one had imagined and written and presented it so well. And she narrated it also so very good, right? So that's the reason it's very, very essential. So communication is very, very essential in writing. What we have in our mind, what are our thoughts is actually being depicted, and we are able to communicate really well to our children. So it's very, very essential for us to actually work on the communication part of it. So that covers our lesson on why writing is so important. How do we communicate to our children? What are the materials that we use to introduce writing to our children, be it sandpaper letters, mobile letters, metal insets, and how communication plays a vital role? What could be the developmental exercises that I give it to children, right? So what could be my developmental exercises that I can give it to them in case if they're not much sure about writing, correct? So that is when I give them it could be the play day, wherein the child can squeeze, they could roll, they can pinch. So my finger strengths are becoming better. We could also give them the tweezer activities where the child can pick up small objects. They could tweeze it and they can move from one place to another. So this improves their fine motor skills, right? Even some other exercises like opening bottles or closing bottles or squeezing a stress ball, or these ones can actually strengthen the hand muscles. So as teachers, you should have list of exercises, like if this is certain things are not working out for your child, what could be the other ones that you would be able to work and give it to all your students, so that they would be able to work on it. Now, to support all these things, not only these exercises we have another material in our Montessori classes. It's called the chalkboards. So most of the schools, they don't have chalkboards these days because of the dust and allergic things that the children will not be very comfortable. But yes, in Montessori, we definitely have chalkboards. And if you see here, the boards that I have laid out, there are 4 different kinds of boards. The first one is a blank board, correct? And the second one is, it's completely like a squared board. So there are a lot of checks which is actually marked. And the third one could be like, the 4-line board, and then again a double line board. We can have different kinds of boards, what we actually needed. So when the child is also preparing to write on the board, we need to also prepare a small tray. Then you bring a letter because you're trying to write a letter on that, right? So whatever is a letter that you want to copy it onto your chalkboard, you bring that particular letter. You keep a piece of chalk and then you keep a duster so that, the child can actually erase, or if you put a dust cloth or a hand cloth. And be it numbers or letters, you ask the child to try to copy it on that. So this is going to be your preparation. So the first board is called the blank board. Okay, it's a plain board. Now I take a letter C. I help the child to trace on it. Now the child will have to trace it. Now be it lines or strokes, whatever the teacher wants to do it, they will be able to do that. Then I can give them the single line ones. The child can look at the letters and they can write many number of times. Okay, so these are single line boards that I can actually give it in my classes. Now, in case if you're a math teacher, you won't pick up a single line tray or this thing. You can actually pick up a square chalkboard and similarly, like, whatever could be the number or the problem that you want to ask the children to actually copy it down, the child will start to write. So what is the only thing that we have to do? We should be now confident that the child knows how to write. Only after the child knows how to write, you show them the procedure, how to write on a chalkboard. A one letter, multiple number of times. Now the child can pick any numbers and write, or is there a sequence or an order for them? How many times to write? You give them the procedure and the child should be able to write it. And many of the things it is like the 4-line board, which most of the language teachers would actually use, where the child will start writing the letters in the forms of placements and positions, words, everything. They will stick onto their line boards and they start writing on it. So these are the 4 boards that we actually have it in our classes. Okay. To support this sorting, chalkboards is one material. Now they tell you, like, how do you sort letters? Now, can somebody tell me, how do I sort letters? Now we have how many letters?
Vowels and consonants.
We have 26 letters, correct? So what are the 2 materials that we would be using in our Montessori to teach letters for children? One is sandpaper.
Sand.
Correct? Yes.
Mobile alphabet.
Yes. We use
Movable alphabet.
letter.
Movable letter.
And the second one, what we would be using is a movable letter.
Oh.
Now, say suppose in case movable alphabet. Say suppose in case if I'm teaching the children uppercase letters. Okay. Now, if I'm trying to teach an uppercase letter and I have used, okay, and I have used my movable letter. Sorry. I'm so sorry. If I'm using my uppercase letters and we are trying to use, okay, the uppercase letters, what is the first thing that I have to be working? I have to work on something called as sorting and placing the letters in the proper way. Now, how can I sort my uppercase letters?
Strokes like
Good.
curved,
I can,
non-curved.
I can sort them based on the lines, the strokes, the curves. Correct? Everybody does
Yes.
this at
Yes.
school also. Based on the strokes, the lines, and the curves is what we are trying to place all of that.
Sort.
Yes. Now say suppose in case if I'm taking the first one using my straight lines. Okay. My straight lines can be my standing line and it can be my sleeping line. Correct? So what could be my letters using this straight lines or standing or the sleeping line?
I, L,
Yes. I have my I. Very good. My
H,
L. My letter T.
H,
H.
Mm.
Very good. My letter E.
E.
Letter
E.
F.
K,
F.
Yes.
K,
Y.
Y has got a slant.
Y. Slant line.
It's got a slanting.
K.
Okay. So this is my first slanting. Right. Now the second thing, maybe I can use now my slanting lines and the combination of my sleeping and standing lines. So that's when I get my letter. Yes.
A.
Get my letter
A.
X. I get my M.
Z.
Very good.
N.
Very good.
W,
W. Yes.
Y.
K,
Y. Y.
Y.
K,
Okay.
K,
K. Very good. So you go with the
Even
second one.
V.
V.
Even V also, ma'am.
Yes, we also, you get it, right? So you go with this particular as a second combination. So you are trying to sort. We have still not placed. We are only sorting the letters, okay? This is very important. We are only sorting the letters based on the lines, strokes, and curves. We finished the first one with the straight, second one with the slants, and the third one with lines and curves. Okay? Now you might have lines and the curves. All the remaining letters will fall under this. Yes. B, my C, R, D, G,
T,
then R, S,
O,
U,
S,
U.
O,
U.
O,
O. P. R.
P.
J,
P.
O,
Q.
yes,
Q.
P, Q,
O.
O.
O, very good. I think we're done, right? This would come under my lines and curves. That will be my third category. So anytime that they give you in your exam, like, based on sorting and placements, kind of elaborate and explain the Montessori exercises, you have to take two things. Now, to support this particular thing, what is the material that I'm going to be using? I will have to be using Montessori sandpaper letter. Okay, so we would use the sandpaper letter to work on sorting based on lines and strokes for the uppercase letters. Now, whenever there is a question based on placing, okay, how do you position? How do you place or how do you position these particular letters? I will take my lowercase letters for this as an example. Okay, so we take the lowercase letters as the example. And what is the material I can use?
Movable alphabet.
We're using
Movable
movable
alphabet.
alphabets. Okay, so we take the movable alphabets and we would be using this particular letters. Now, how do we position? How do we work on this?
below the line,
Positions
above the
and
line,
placements, you have to draw
4 lines.
4 lines. Okay, so always you have to draw 4 lines. Okay, now the first thing what we need to work, what are the letters? What are the letters which will fall on?
Upper.
Below the line or in
On the
between.
line.
Below the two lines, right? So we call them as what letters?
And
We call them as
small
the
letter.
grass letters. Okay. Anything which is falling in the two lines, we call them as the grass letters.
Grass.
Grass letters. So probably it is our A, letter C, then
Yum.
letter
Yum.
E, letter
M.
M.
N.
M,
O.
N,
I.
I
V.
will touch the top line.
Oh, I will touch
R,
the
V. W.
U, V,
S.
very good. V, W,
V,
R, X,
C,
then R, Z.
Z,
Okay, so
Z.
this would be
That's-
the grass letters. Now
Grass
this is being sorted. This is not being sorted, but this is being placed. This is positioned based on the center two lines. Now I can say, can you also sort the letters based upon the top line touching?
Yeah.
So those are called the sky letters because it is touching where? It is touching the sky. Okay, the top line is called what? The top line is called the sky line. So we can say the
Sky.
sky letters. So I can have my letter
B.
B.
T.
Very good. I can have
D.
my letter B, then
D.
letter
D,
letter
D.
I,
F,
I.
H,
F, F,
A, letter L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T.
T.
T,
T.
Okay.
F, F,
F also. F, if some of the fonts will have F like this, some of the fonts will have F like this. So depending on your textbook, you can actually use it. Okay. So that's again sorted based on the top lines. Now, can we have letters being sorted on the bottom lines?
Yeah.
root letter,
Root
Correct.
letters.
All the root letters, correct? So we can have, what are the letters?
G.
Q.
T,
P. Q.
G,
J,
A, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q,
J,
Q. Y.
Y.
Y, yes, Y.
Okay, and what is the one which touches all of them? It's letter J.
J.
So you can have all this. So this is based on the position. So based on the sorting, how do you sort? You have to use sandpaper letters and you sort based on
Workless.
you position
Movable.
and you place using movable alphabets on the positions that the letters do take place. So this is what you have to demonstrate and show it. You have to literally draw lines. Again, lines, the first two lines has to be red and the center lines has to be blue. So you have to keep a note on drawing lines also. Okay, the blue lines and the red lines. It has to be according to it itself when you're drawing it in your exam. Don't make everything here, okay? With all the same color. It has to go according to your 4-line colors. This is what you have to be sorting and placing. Now, when you go back to your book, okay? So when you go back to your book and you see what is your placement and position, the book also talks about the same thing, that we would be using these two materials to work on our positions and placements. One is the sandpaper letter, the other one is the mobile alphabet. This is where it takes a little bit more time for an LKG teacher. LKG teachers, they take almost like 2 months to get everything right on positions. The child should know the directions of writing. As soon as you introduce your chalkboards, the next exercise you give them is on the letters. You work on sorting part of it using sorting by placement. You're going to be using the mobile alphabet. Clear, guys? What is the material required for doing this? You need a writing paper. Okay? Take the writing paper. It could be 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, or even 5 lines, according to what each school is following. Based on that, you write something in the full line and let the child start writing. So they would start writing on the paper after you introduce the student to actually write on it. So this is called, once the child knows how to write on a 4-line, it becomes easy for them to copy any writing what the teacher has given. For that, you need to give some transcriptions. The teacher will have to give them some transcriptions. How do you work on the transcription? First, the child will start writing everything single letter. You give them dots where to start. Then the child is comfortable writing single letter, you give them a word. Now the child will start writing. So this is called a modified script for you, because every letter the child understands how I have to write. If you're using cursive letter, use cursive letter. If you're using free fall, you please use a free fall letter. Now the child is able to write a word. Now you give them a picture. The child should be able to write what is there in the picture. Okay. Slowly what happens? You give them to write phrases. Then you give them sentences. Then at last you ask them to draw something and write something. This is how the initial writing of a 4.5 year will be there, because they are not sticking to the lines. Have you seen? They are not sticking to the lines. The position of the letters has not been happening properly. Only reason is because the child's wrist and the arm movement is not that very developed. But the child knows here to write the letter. But look at the Y. The child does not know Y has to come down. Right? They don't know about that. Look at the R is touching the top line. Look at the M, tomorrow, in the word tomorrow, the M is touching all the 4 lines. This is what eventually we will get it down on placements. The child should be able to know what letter takes what position. And slowly you will start. You don't have to wait until the perfection, till the end. You can start giving them to start writing. I ate pumpkin. So pumpkin. Teach them the breakable of that word. Pumpkin. K-in. So you can actually break the word, help them on syllabification, and slowly the child will get into writing part of it. These are the essential skills, especially the placement of the letters play a vital role. If you're in an LKG teacher, if you're taking up the LKG class or a 4 to 5 years class, this becomes your priority. Now what the teacher does, she gives them some scripts. Okay, she laminates them, she keeps it there. Every day she asks the child, take this and copy do. So this is called copywriting, for improving the handwriting. Every day, 5 minutes, you can ask the child to write 3 lines or 4 lines in a day. And each child can take anything. It can be any saying, any word, or even the lines from whatever the notebooks have. Even letters it could be, or even words it could be. The child need not know the spelling. The child will only have to copy where is that word letter going. Is it going up? Is it coming down? Or is it in the 2 lines? The child will have to copy it. So these are transcriptions that we definitely need to work on. And then the child will have to learn on it. Okay. So we stop our today's class over here. That's the essentiality of writing. Tomorrow we would be seeing, not tomorrow, sorry. Tomorrow is a holiday. And Friday we will be having the next class. Thursday I have a TV interview, so I'll not be able to make it up this Thursday. So I will be sharing the live whatever is happening as a link. And Friday we will have the class for it. And yes, writing on the paper is very, very essential for your children. So you can also make some transcriptions like this. It could be the natural sayings and stuff like that. You can laminate and you can actually put it together. And students who are writing exams in April, if anybody are there from the same batch, we will be receiving the timetable very soon this week and start preparing for your lessons. And yeah, there are a couple of other things. So you need to again reconfirm your full name as whatever has been given in your birth certificate and your other passing certificates. Just try kindly confirm once we get the final candidate list of students taking up the exams. Recheck one more time. If there's any corrections, do let us know on that. So it will start on the first week of April. So try to be prepared and don't book any of your holidays because the dates are still not confirmed. It's going to be in April first week. That's for sure. Okay. So 13 days of exam in between of 2 holidays of Saturday, Sunday. So kindly keep that 16 days of buffer. Only then you plan up for your travel. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. How to pronounce onion in a UKG? Onion.
Some people say onion. Some people will say
Breaking the words onion. How to break, ma'am?
how to break. You can say onion. Instead of yen, you
Okay,
can say
3.
on.
Okay.
Yes. Onion.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I was late for 15 minutes. Could you able to share this today's recording in the group,
I'll do
ma'am?
that. I'll do that, Purni. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please share the recording for the metal insets lecture also? Last to last week.
That was on last to last class. Can you tell me the date of it, please?
Sure, I'll check and I'll tell you.
Yeah. If you can just message the date of it in the group itself, you can message. I will just extract that
Okay,
recording and I'll send it to you. Yeah.
I'll message on the group chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
you.
Have a
Thank
great
you, ma'am.
evening, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.